Here we are. It's time to rise. Here we are to fight for right. If you don't wanna fight, then you best walk away. If you're looking for a fight, step right up to the plate. 'Cause here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Nixa football. Are you ready to fight? Flip on the lights. It's Friday night. If you don't wanna fight, then you best walk away. If you're looking for a fight, step right up to the plate. 'Cause here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Here we are.
Are we live? We are going. All right, once again, welcome to week 3 of the Nixa Touchdown Club Coaches Show. And once again, Coach, we've got something to celebrate in Nixa, 42-6. Taking care of some business up there in Willard, Missouri. And, of course, we appreciate all the great support. And we got to do a little housekeeping here for you just real quick. Of course, the Touchdown Club is brought to you by Jenkins CPA. Jenkins CPA located right here in Nixa, one of the founding members of the Alumni Club or the Touchdown Club. And that's Vance Jenkins and Heather Jenkins. And I know they're working late tonight on some corporate taxes, and they couldn't be here tonight. I think those things are due. Also, big thanks to our offensive and defensive play of the week, and that is Venice Knight of the Knight Real Estate Team. Venice is here with us tonight at the Old World Realty. Of course, that Riley's mom, in case you want to embarrass Riley a little bit. Okay, good. All right, so we appreciate them. Then, of course, our big friends here at Big Whiskeys, and, you know, they provide our coaches dinner and our players of the week dinner each and every week. Don't forget, on Tuesday night, kids do eat free here at Big Whiskeys, and they are always playing professional sports. You can catch the football games here on Friday night. They do have the Sunday ticket. Brunch is on the weekends, 10 to 2. Great patio, of course. Don't forget their great catering options, and stay tuned for new catering menu coming soon, and that's from Greg and his team here at Big Whiskeys. All right, speaking of the Touchdown Club, I spoke to our leadership team today. We have, if you're an official member, you'll be getting your T-shirts soon. We're also working on some water bottles that we want to provide to some of the players, so that's all coming up very, very soon. And, of course, remember, when we do take donations for the Touchdown Club, or if you wanted to sponsor this show, because we are looking for sponsors for like our coaches interviews and then our players of the week interviews, that money will eventually either filter into the football program, either through the Booster Club, the Nixa Athletic Booster Club, or we may purchase some things at the request of Coach Perry. So we are definitely using that to support the football program. So that's all about what's happening with the Nixa Touchdown Club. And if you haven't liked our Facebook group, we have 2. We broadcast this show on a page. Facebook gives us better tools for that, but we're communicating through a group. I know it's 2 more pages to like. I understand. I'm in that world, but it's very, very important. All right, so that's enough housekeeping. And I got through that quick tonight. Look, Coach, 2 minutes.
Pretty good.
Keeping time tonight. But you know what? We have something to celebrate. We went into Willard High School and came out with a big victory, 42-6. Man, tell me, I mean, the momentum, and we're gonna show some highlights here in a minute, how that momentum shifted so fast this week. But man, what was your game plan going into Willard this week?
You know, I mean, we just wanted to try to get a victory. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, they were a lot better than that score indicated. You know, like we had a few breaks that happened early on. You know, there were a few things that went our way right off the bat, and you know, when momentum in football, when momentum in any sport gets going, it's hard to get it flipped around, and they could not get it flipped around. I was really concerned, you know, us coming off as big a win as we were, when you turn around and play, sometimes it's really hard to get motivated to play. So, you know, and I thought they did a really good job on defense of taking away what we do best. You know, they did a really good job versus the run, and you know, I thought that was going to be tough, but you know, the defense put us in such a short field most of the night that you know we never really had to take the ball and drive 80 yards. So they helped us out a little bit, but our kids played really well.
Well, Coach, that's what I noticed is in looking at the numbers, we had only 250. We had 42 points, which is fantastic, but we had 250 total yards offense. So I mean, that's working with half a field.
Yeah, I mean, some of those drives were shorter than that. You know, we had the interception that, you know, gave us the ball inside the 10 or whatever it was. Then we had the block punt that gave us the ball really close. You know, we had the kick return that gave us the ball on like the 25 right before half, before that perfect play that I called right there before half worked out perfect, you know. But we got some breaks, so the yardage was, you know, and at the end of the day, you know, the yardage don't matter. What matters is the points, and you know, points are somewhat irrelevant too. As long as you got one more than the other team, that's what really matters.
Well, Coach, even though Austin only had just right at 100 yards, almost 100 yards passing, but he was 8 for 11 with a 72% completion percentage. That's good numbers.
No doubt about it. We'll take 8 for 11 every Friday night.
Yeah. And Ramon averaged a little over 7.5 yards per carry. It's nice. You got to feel good as an offensive team knowing that if you're going to give that guy the ball, he's probably going to pick up at least 5 to 8 yards each and every carry. That's moving the chains.
You know, and we've gotten so much better with everybody around him. You know, from the offensive linemen to this week, the tight ends that we added to the wide receivers are blocking so much better than they were to start with. You know, and it makes his job and it makes our job a whole lot better when everybody does their part.
You know, being in Willard, we had a lot of fans that were watching the live stream, which Mr. Burns and his team always do a great job. They had some technical difficulties getting it started, but if you were watching at home during the live stream, you may have missed this first play, Coach. So it's first quarter. You just kicked it off. It's 2nd down and 8, Willard's 16-yard line, and you got a big lineman that comes up with a big play here. Set this up for me.
Well, you know, I'm not sure the down and distance, but you know, what I do know is we get pressure on the quarterback. It's Michael Grizel, if you ask his mother. But he gets a hold of him right there, and he does not let go, and he slings him. So then that leads to an errant pass that lands right in the lap of Landon Carson. And he looks like he's never toted the ball before a day in his life, you know. And when you're built like me and him, you probably have not toted the ball a whole lot. But that was a generous gift, you know, from them to us. That was somewhat created by us, you know. I mean, that was, you know, one defensive lineman getting in there and getting a hold to him and creating a bad play. And then we, you know, lucked up with the catch and the 1-yard return after the catch.
Hey, but this sets up our next play.
We were very grateful to anytime we can take the ball over inside the 10-yard line, we're going to be excited.
Well, and then, of course, right off the bat, I mean, it wasn't just a few plays later, and Ramon Green punches it in for you. But look at the offensive hole this thing creates. I mean,
you know what, man, like that was actually a little more complicated than we wanted it to be, you know, and it was actually closer getting in right there than we wanted because they did a really good job of squeezing and trying to take away B gap, and you know, credit to them. But our guys did a great job of getting enough movement right there that Ramon could actually get in.
All right, Coach. So you're on the scoreboard. Now it's time to kind of keep things moving forward.
That's fine.
All right, so the next play that we wanted to showcase here, Coach, we have coming up is going to be, it's a fumble recovery for your defense stepping up here. This is Willard's got the ball. They're moving it just a little bit. It's first quarter, 2nd and 5, and your defense steps up.
And this is an example of a gift. You know, this is what happens when they just don't do their job and take care of the football. So they, you know, it's really an unforced error on their account. The running back, quarterback just have a bad exchange, but John Golson jumps on the ball right there and is able to recover it. And here again, we take over the ball on possession on their side of the field. So, you know, that makes life a whole lot easier for us. It's hard for high school football teams to take the ball, you know, and possess it on the 20-yard line and drive 80 yards. Like, it's almost impossible, you know, stats say, because we will tend to mess it up if we have to go that far and snap it 8 or 10 plays. But if we can take it over on the 40-yard line, a lot of times we can be successful.
Well, Coach, in your game plan going into Willard, what were you focused on? The running game, passing game? What was the keys?
They were a running football team, so we were going to gang up and try to stop the run and try to make them throw the football, because that's not something that they want to do. You know, they want to put everybody in there and run it and, you know, try to get 3 or 4 yards a carry. But, I thought our guys played great. They played really good versus the run.
All right, so it's time to go back, and now you're going to get the football, and it's time to start working the ball again a little bit. So first quarter, 3rd down and 5. You're on the Willard 33-yard line, and you're going to connect here. Austin's going to connect with Bray Jackson here for a 31-yard touchdown.
Yes. This is actually a run play where he has the option to throw it if the linebacker, you hear the term all the time, RPO. Well, he has the option to throw it if the linebacker's chasing the run too hard. And if you look and see the linebacker, man, he is flying to the football to try to tackle Ramon. A lot of times they trigger whenever the guard pulls. That's their key. And then we slip Jackson right in there behind them, and the safety came down trying to tackle the run too. So that's a really good play for us.
Touchdown, Nixa Eagle. Kind of a fun game to coach, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, anytime you win, it's fun. Whether it's 1 point or 42 points, man, it's fun to go out there and compete and watch your guys perform after you see them practice all week.
Mm-hmm.
That's really fun as a coach.
I mean, all your coaches got to be celebrating, especially when this play happens, which you told me that you called something else.
Yeah, sometimes, and we teach our kids sometimes, E plus R equals O, and sometimes the coach's E is bad, so the kid's R has to overcome our E. And right here, we thought we had a good play call, but then it turned into not be a good play call. And I don't know. I think Ramon just kind of told Austin that, if I just happened to run down the middle of the field, throw me the ball. This is right before half, so it was the last play. So that is actually not what we called. But, heck, it worked out pretty good. So I figure they've worked on this at the house, man, out in the yard or something. Maybe when they were cutting grass, they got off and.
Coach, are you letting those guys draw X's and O's on the ground? I guess it's grass there, so yeah.
That's pretty good. They just better make sure it works out every time like that when they call their own play. Because if it don't, we're gonna be upset.
Well, hey, that's an awesome play there. So 19-yard touchdown pass to Ramon Green. Austin, is he Austin? Where's Austin at? Is he in here tonight? There he is. Yeah, there he is. Great job, guys. Good job.
That's pretty good, man. I was excited when it happened. I was kind of trying to figure out what had happened, but I saw as soon as they did it, they kind of started high-fiving each other, so I knew there had been some communication between the two of them.
Well, Coach, that leads us up to our offensive play of the week, brought to you by the night team, the real estate team at the Old World Realty, and Venice again here tonight. We appreciate her stepping up and sponsoring this. And this play is really not a single play. It's more of a player, and this player knows that what was the key for him to have 14 carries, 104 yards, 2 TDs, 1 catch for 19 yards, and 1 touchdown.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what, man. What he'll tell you is the same thing that I'll tell you is those guys in front do a fantastic job. Right here we're close to the goal line. They got all 11 defenders up there close, and he's really not touched till he gets into the end zone. But those guys up in front have gotten so much better at doing what they do, and they make life a whole lot easier for him. And he's gotten a lot better at seeing what's going on in front of him and making it happen. And then he does things sometimes, on his own, although things break down, sometimes great players make plays anyway, and had a fantastic night.
Yep. So he becomes our offensive player of the week again. The night team is sponsoring that with Overall Realty. And give a round of applause for Ramon Green and the entire offensive line, which coming up a little bit later tonight, we're going to be focusing on Coach John Stock and 2 of our offensive linemen because they are very, very important. Coach, we haven't talked much about defense. You guys only allowed 6 points again, so congratulations on that. So really kind of shutting them down.
I'll tell you what, those guys have done a fantastic job all year long. They do a great job coaching-wise, preparing, and getting the kids ready to play as far as watching all the film, on the weekends and having the kids in the right position to be able to make the plays. It starts with the coaches, and the players have really taken to that, and they've done a great job, of running what the coaches have put in.
Our defensive play of the week, once again, brought to you by the night team. We're going back to the first play of the game, the number 68, Landon Carson, interception, sets you guys up for success, creates that energy. And I know as a fan, right off the bat, man, you are excited about Nixa football once again watching this game.
No doubt. I mean, that's that's the way you wish every game would start. They don't all start like that, but when they do, you feel a little bit of a release of a little bit of anxiety when something like that happens, because you get an early lead, and momentum in football is huge. And that was able to swing it our way for a little while.
All right, outstanding. Well, Coach, any other final thoughts from Willard on last Friday night?
No, I would just like to say that I know that the ratings of our show are fixing to go up because we got Coach Stock coming on.
All right.
And Coach Stock, man, I'm gonna tell you what, he's a fine fella, and I'm gonna say the ratings will go through the roof after this.
Well, I tell you what, I went back and looked at some of the stats from last week. We got a lot of people watching. We've had over 6,000 impressions from week 2 show.
Hey, wait till Stock gets done with them tonight.
All right, we'll be back right after this from a message from our sponsors, Jenkins CPA and the Night Real Estate team at Old World Realty. We'll be right back.
We are Doug and Denise Knight, and we are the night team of Old World Realty. Together, we have over 50 years of real estate and construction background and knowledge. We can help you buy and sell or build with our partner, Old World Cottages, right there in Nixa. Whether it's an investment property or a family home or a specialty custom home, we want to be your resource for all your real estate needs.
We work with honor,
right, we're
service,
back.
and loyalty, and we partner with those who do the same.
Because that is the nice way.
And we're back live here for week 3 of the Nixa Touchdown Club Coaches Show. And you just heard from Coach John Perry some highlights from week 1. And again, just an outstanding performance from the offense. But and the defense, though, really providing opportunities all week long. And I'm going to fix that clip later. We'll get that back on there for you. However, we do know that all that offensive power that we've seen the last 3 weeks starts with our offensive line and all the hard work they do. And we have Coach John Stock with us here. We had our offensive coordinator, Aaron Wells, last week. We had Wick War week 1. But Coach Stock, all season long, how have you been preparing your offensive linemen to really perform at the level that we're seeing them perform?
Well, it's a given that we have to be physical, and that's something that we've really stressed all summer. Just playing with a mental toughness and a physical toughness, so that's probably at the top of our list every single day when we come into practice. Probably the biggest change that I've seen with this group from the beginning of the summer until the first few practices in the fall or camp in August was just their mental outlook. And I think they just started believing in themselves and believing in their ability to really get things done, not only individually, but as a group. This group is a group that has to trust each other on each play. And, there are times when a defensive lineman, somebody will move 6 inches, and that may change 3 of our linemen's block on one play. So just the mental aspect of it and just them believing in each other and believing in themselves, I think has really carried us forward and got us to the point we are now in the season.
Well, Coach, how long have you been with the football program now? And I'm going to show some clips as we talk here. You can kind of watch some of the offensive line plays from the other night in slow motion. But how long have you been with the Nixa football program now?
Well, my family and I moved here in 2007, and this is my 12th year with the football program. I retired from the classroom, and so I kind of took a hiatus for a couple years. But I think it's been 12 years. I've coached 39 years. Early in my career, we had a quick change in our football staff at school I was with, and head coach came to me and said, "We need an O-line coach." I was coaching quarterbacks and running backs and wide receivers, and I said, "Sure, I'll give it a go." And just for me personally, the young men that I've had the opportunity to work with through the years at that position are some of the finest young people that I've had the opportunity to work with, to coach, and to get to know. On a daily basis, I try to share a little bit of wisdom, but if truth be told, those kids probably teach me just as much or more on a daily basis as I do with them. So hats off to them.
Wow. You guys, that's pretty amazing. Coach John Stock, isn't that fun? A little bit of applause there. Wow. Well, Coach, a little different this year. When you're coaching your offensive linemen, you're just focusing on your offensive linemen. They're not having to do defensive line practice as well. How's that changed?
Well, it's different, but I think it's a good difference. Platooning like we do, the offensive guys, whether they're linemen or running backs, receivers, the unit as a whole get to focus just on offense for practice, and their minds, are not kind of divided between offense and defense, as some of them have played both ways in years past, and I think that's been a big benefit. There's a lot of competition in practice too. If you talk to them, offense and defense, when they line up and go at each other, sometimes ones versus ones, there's a lot of pride on the line, and they get really excited one or the other if they get the better. So offense gets the better of the defense, and time they let them hear it, and defense does the same for the offense.
All right, let's go over your starting five on your offensive line, the big men up front, and then we'll have you kind of give us an introduction into Josh and Matthias here. But tell me who your big five are this year and what you're most excited about them.
Well, right tackle is Sam Brower. He's a big dude, and when we ask him to block down, he usually cleans out the whole side of the line and gives a lot of room for the running backs to run. Our right guard is Thomas Schulte. Both those guys are juniors, and they've improved a great deal over the summer and through the fall so far. Our center is Garrett Davidson. He's a sophomore, and he's done a really, really good job. Blocking is hard. Being an offensive lineman is hard, but having to snap the ball first, it just adds a whole nother dimension to what a lineman has to do, and he's done a really good job. And then the left side of our line are our two seniors. Matias Marino plays left guard for us. He's the one that his teammates always calling him short. He's the easy one to pick out, in practice or on the game field. He takes it all in stride. But he's a great young man. I've had the opportunity to coach him last year and again this year. And then our left tackle is Josh Jones, another senior leader for us. And both Josh and Matthias have been outstanding leaders for us on the football field. But I guarantee you they're, as good as they are as football players, they're better young men. And they've been great ambassadors for us, our team, our school, and our community. For the time that they've been putting on the Crimson and for the Nixa Eagle football program. So, I can't say enough about those two young men. I kind of feel like I'm the undercard, and the heavyweights are getting ready to come up here.
Well, they are.
And rightfully so.
Well, Coach, congratulations so far this year. We got a lot of work to do. We know that. We got a big game coming up against Republic, and they made some big plays against Webb City last week, and I know that there's some good defensive plays as well. But so far this year, you guys have got 645 yards on the ground rushing and over 400 yards passing. So in 3 games, we're over 1,000 yards already in offensive power, and that comes from your big men up front. So once again, give a big round of applause to our coach, our offensive line coach, John Stock.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to bring up Matias Moreno real quick, and he's going to come up. And, Coach, if you don't mind to grab a Clorox there and wipe that down, that would be fantastic. And he is making his way up. I guess the tickets are already sold out. I sure hope you guys got your tickets for Friday night. And, of course, we appreciate all the hard work that Nixa Schools is doing regarding how they're doing the COVID-19. Hey, guys, we're playing football, and we have fans in the crowd. So please be patient with them. And I know that they are working on some other plans and ideas, but when they do offer those tickets for sale, try to get on there fast or get that annual athletic pass. But let's just be thankful that we are able to get in the stands. Okay, Matias Moreno, man, how long you been playing football with Nixa?
Since 8th grade.
Yeah, since 8th grade?
Yep.
And so tell me, since 8th grade, you started out as fifth year in the program, and of course we've seen a lot of changes this year. But before we jump into the impact of Coach Perry, I really would be more inclined to find out, since the person that you work with the most is Coach John Stock. Tell me what it's like to have Coach John Stock coach you guys on the offensive line.
He's been a a big reason that we improve each week and throughout the summer. Making sure we're going full go whenever we're looking down. His word, it's flip the switch whenever we're about to go team. So when he sees us kind of lounging around and maybe not giving everything we got, he tells us to flip the switch. Then we look at each other, tell each other to flip the switch, and then we kind of get going after that.
So it's kind of like that magic little word that says, okay, it's showtime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So as an offensive lineman, I know you got to play a little bit last year. What's the biggest change you've noticed this year on with the team?
We're always
Besides winning.
working. We're excited to work. We're excited to go get the wins. But it's just more of enjoying the process this year. We probably didn't do enough of that last year, which kind of reflected on our record. But over the summer, that was just kind of our main thing, was just trust the process. And hard work's not going to betray you.
This guy's doing a good interview, man. He's gonna be on the NFL Today show someday. Okay, so you got that guy back there. He comes up out of Mississippi. You're like, all right, who are they bringing up here? The very first time that you either got to hear or meet Coach John Perry, what was your first initial reaction?
Super motivational. Just you could really tell that what he was saying, he really believed in it, and it was just something that we're all able to get behind, and we liked it really.
All right, favorite moment so far this year and then we got a long way to go. But first, favorite moment from the moment you met Coach Perry to right here tonight. What's been your favorite moment so far?
Oh man, you kind of
Come
put
on.
me on the spot.
Come on, man. And hey, Josh, you're not getting the same question, so don't think you're sitting there thinking about your answers. We don't work like that up here at the Touchdown Club.
I mean, today was pretty funny where he jumped up in the air and
Who did?
broke his knee, Josh.
What? No. Are you joking?
Hell no.
Oh, man, you're scaring me. All right, well, Matthias, I know you got a lot of work left to do this rest of this year, and I know that. Where's my offensive players in the room? Where are they? You love these guys? Come on. They love Christmas presents. Don't forget. One more round of applause. And Big Whiskey's wants to give you a free appetizer sometime, man. Of course, they bought your meal tonight, and we're excited to see what you do against Republic this coming Friday night. All right, let's bring up our next offensive lineman. It's Josh Jones, another senior here at Nixa High School. We do invite you to stick around if you're still watching. We've got the update or the plan of attack, if you will, coming up against the Republic Tigers. Coach Perry will dive into that in a few minutes. And again, a big thanks to our sponsors tonight, Jenkins CPA, the annual sponsor of the Touchdown Club and the night team, real estate team, for our offensive, defensive plays, and, of course, our friends here at Big Whiskies. All right, so here he is, Josh Jones. Josh, how long have you been with the football program, man?
Yeah, I've been playing football. Been playing Mighty Mites since about 4th grade, so.
So you enjoy the program?
Oh, yes, sir.
So since you've been playing since the 4th grade, then you've always dreamed of being underneath the Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, I have. And that one year, we went to state a couple of years ago. I just knew that we would be up there all the time. And then the last couple of years, we dwindled down, so I didn't know if I'd ever get to see something like that. But
Well, that's true, and I can remember that game. Coach Wells and I have talked about it a few times. I remember I didn't even sit down the entire game. I wouldn't sit down below. I had to sit back behind because I was so energized. I felt like I was finally getting a chance to play in a state championship through the players that were on the field. And so, yeah, that does energize the program, and we know that Coach Perry is going to work hard and all the coaches and the entire program is going to work hard to bring that back to Nixa. So far, what has been the biggest change in your workout as an offensive lineman since the change of Coach Perry? What's been the biggest difference?
well, I think that we've all believed in ourselves a little more, and like Matthias said, we've been pushing ourselves more, and there's no more just going through the motions, just trying to get through practice and get through to Friday. We're all pushing at everything we got every single day, trying to get better, and not just trying to get through practice.
So when you're on that offensive line and they call the ball, Ramon Green's going to be coming up on your left side. Your left tackle?
Yes, sir.
Your left tackle. He's coming off tackle. What's going through your head at that moment?
I'm thinking man, I gotta get this block. I gotta get Ramon up there because we love these guys and we know that they do anything for us, and we want to do anything for them, and we want to make sure that they don't get hurt and that we can just do everything that we can to protect them.
So as an offensive lineman, you boys have to work out in the weight room quite a bit.
Oh, yes.
Tell me a
sir.
funny story about your strength coach.
Oh, Coach Gold, we love Coach Gold. Yeah. Oh, one day we were in there, and
That didn't take long.
Yeah, one day we were in there and he was telling us how to squat and people weren't going down to parallel. He was like, you cheat on your squat, you're going to cheat on your wife one day. And so everybody remembers that one.
Remember, this is a family show, so we. Well, you know what, Josh? I'm excited for you and the rest of your season. And Austin, come up here for a minute. Come here, McCracken. Just stand right here in the middle of us. Don't go anywhere. You're left side tackle, man. You got one job, and I'm very impressed what I've seen so far with Austin filling in for our quarterback Reed Potts, and we hope Reed comes back. Stand up next to Austin there. All right. Now, do you see how important your job is? Do you see? Now, I'm not trying to make fun of him. I'm not. I promise, buddy. I promise. I think you're doing a great job. But it's important that our offensive linemen are stay focused this year. You listen to your coach. You listen to what Coach Perry says, what Coach goes, we got to take care of this guy. And I have a feeling that we've got a lot of games to win, and we get a chance to get Reed Potts back in. That's amazing, too. But even then, you got to take care of that guy, too. Give old Josh Jones a round of applause. And Austin, thanks for letting me bring you up, buddy. Here's your free appetizer from Big Whiskeys. All right, we're going to bring Coach Perry back up here real fast and kind of dive into what we have coming up next week. And, of course, it is senior night. And if you didn't get a ticket out there today, we do apologize. However, our broadcast team will be ready to go. And you can go to CityLink TV, and you can, of course, watch the entire senior night presentation. And they'll be broadcasting that live coming up on Friday. And if you haven't seen their coverage, you're doing a good job. And I'm really proud of that program, Coach, because it's led by students, you know, and it's led by teachers, but it's ran by our high school students. And Scott Purrier was in here earlier tonight. His son is one of the announcers, and they're getting better each and every week and bringing a quality broadcast if you can't be to the game. Otherwise, you got to come listen to me, right? So then you got to listen to me butcher all the names on Friday night. Dustin, I need those phonetically spelled correctly. All right. So, Coach, we got Republic. They lost to Webb City, but at times they showed greatness. They had some big plays. What's the big strategy going into Friday night?
We got to try to keep the big plays from happening. You know, they came out, had several really, really big plays versus Webb. They do a great job on offense of spreading the ball out. They've got some really talented players, and, you know, like we talked about earlier, we need to make them snap the ball. Just snap the ball over and over and over and not give them a one-play 85-yard touchdown. You know, you just can't give free touchdowns away. You have to make them earn it, and, you know, you make them earn it by playing defense every single snap, keeping the ball in front of you, tackling well, doing things that, you know, that you're taught to do. And I think we're going to have a large challenge defensively because, you know, they're going to be offensively as good as anybody we've played or better than anybody we've played so far.
Well, you know, Coach, I know that we constantly, with you coming into the program and all the changes and the energy, it's windshield time a lot, but little revenge on this game last year for us football fans. Probably a game we should have won. They're going to come in thinking they can steal one from us at Eagle Stadium. But Friday night, what's the biggest way you're going to continue to get your because another great big win, 42-6. You talked about it in some of your posts and on the interview. What are we doing to get our players ready? Are you focused for Republic on Friday night?
I'm going to tell you what, man, you have to, you know, just like in life, like you have to get ready to play one play at a time. You just got to try to win the play that you're in right now, you know, and don't worry about, you know, what's going to happen in the second quarter, third quarter. You know, just win the first play and then muster up some energy and try to win the second play. And don't worry about it. We're going to get their best shot, obviously, coming off a loss.
Yeah.
They've heard it all week long, you know, and
That's
our
right.
guys are feeling really good about themselves. But, you know, what I do think our guys will do, I think they will come out and play as hard as they can play every single play. You know, and that's all you can do. There's no sense in, you know, worrying about anything else. I mean, let's just play the first play as hard as we can play it. And when it's over, let's play the second play. And then you don't worry about, you know, all that other stuff that may come into other people's minds. You know, like, I guess I'm not smart enough to think about that. Like, all I'm thinking about is, you know, the first kickoff. Which kickoff are we going to use?
Right.
And then what's going to be the first play, and we'll worry about the second
down.
play after that. But, you know, I think you got to break things down into what's really important and learn to play the next play to the best of your ability.
Well, I tell you what, being in the business community as the Chamber of Commerce and working with a lot of people, there's a lot of energy in our community right now for Nixa football. And I know, for one, we're appreciative of what all the people in this room have been doing. It's not just about Coach John Perry. It's about the entire football program. And from a very sincere, heartfelt thank you, I really appreciate everything that everybody's doing in this room to make this year a successful season. All right,
No
Coach,
doubt.
we're going to wrap this up. I want to thank our Coach Dustin Martin. He's behind the scenes today, kind of playing producer. He's done a lot of hard work. Again, our big thanks to our sponsors, Jenkins CPA, of course, locally owned, been in Nixa for over 25 years. Our offensive, defensive plays of the week brought to you by Knight Real Estate Team with Old World Realty. And, of course, a big thanks to our host here at Big Whiskies. If you're interested in sponsoring the Touchdown Club and making donations, please let us know. Coach, I had some people ask me today, how do they get these T-shirts? Can we still get these?
If you got a ticket to the game, you can get them Friday.
Oh, you're going to throw them out. Well,
Yeah,
okay.
we're
We'll
gonna
see how
have
that
some ready
goes.
Friday for the people.
All right, we're home this week. It is senior night. We're moving that up just on precaution, but it will be this coming Friday night as we honor our seniors for our band program, our cheer program, of course, the dance program, and, of course, Nixa football. And I'd encourage you to get there early. Gates will be opening early for the season pass holders at 5:30 and everybody else at 6, and we'll get senior night started probably somewhere around 6:15 p.m., so be ready for that. Coach, any final thoughts?
I would like to echo what you said. You know, very thankful to everybody in the community that has helped us get off to the start we do. There's 2 people in the world in football programs that get too much credit when you win, and they probably get too much credit when you lose, and that's the coach and that's the quarterback. Those 2 seem to catch more than their share of praise and criticism both ways. But we've got a great group of coaches that were already here. We had a lot of great players that were already here, the community, the administration, the teachers, all of that, the student body. I mean, the way they come out and support is absolutely awesome. Like all of that, you know, was already here. And I'm grateful that, you know, just to play a small part in it and be a part of it.
Well, I don't disagree that it was here. It just needed to be kind of boosted a little bit. And I would agree that our coach, John Perry, has done that. Wouldn't you guys? All right, well, we got work to do on Friday night, Coach, and we'll see you back here for week 4. And remember, we record these on Tuesday night at 7:30 at Big Whiskies. They'll air tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, the final product on our Facebook page. Guys, have a great evening. We'll see you Friday night. Matthias, get up here, buddy.
Here we are. We're back again.